So they say bad things happen in Philadelphia, huh? Well, I'll tell you what. Bad things happen to receivers in Philadelphia because once again, the Eagles are riddled. They're riddled with injury at the wide receiver position. But this week, we may get some good news. This week, we may get Alshon Jeffery back.
Yep, the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly.
Scary Cooper, asshole.
Oh, Dingbat! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That was crazy!
Happy trails, Hans. Dallas still stinks. Everybody do it. King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great Mother Hump Day. I hope you guys are doing well. You know, I still can't believe we lost to the Bengals, or we didn't lose. We tied the Bengals. I still can't believe that happened, and I can't believe that in overtime, when we were just in field goal range, we tried to literally settle for a 54, 57-yard field goal. The whole sequence of events in overtime still baffle me to this day. I just don't understand it. And it's not getting easier having to go to San Francisco and play the 49ers this week. A team that is banged up, but even though they're banged up, is still capable of double moonwalking our ass. Right now, I don't know as an Eagle fan how any of us can feel comfortable with any game we're playing or any team right now. It's very hard. I mean, I do my preview prediction videos on Friday. I'll be doing one this Friday. I have no idea how I'm going. I have no idea what to think. The Eagles are 7-point underdogs. So I don't know what to think. And then once again, we're dealing with a team that has injuries. We've got a ton of injuries every year. Injury this, injury that. And it's brutal, especially at the wide receiver position. Let's talk about the wide receiver position because in this offseason, right, we go out. I remember first day of all season of free agency. First day of free agency. DeAndre Hopkins goes. I think it was the first day. DeAndre Hopkins gets traded to Arizona. And I said this all along. I said the move for the Eagles to make, the move they should have made was to go out and get DeAndre Hopkins. And I know I'm talking about something in the past, but it was a key move at the point in time. You should have done it. They could have gotten Diggs. They decided not to do that. They decided to go ahead and draft wide receivers. They drafted 3. And look, I like all of them. I think they may be good someday, but they're all rookies right now, and we don't know what we really have in them yet. They're still learning. And then Jalen Reagor, from what I've seen of Reagor, I like. But Reagor's hurt now. Okay, he hurt his thumb, and then this is baffling to me too. The Eagles put him on IR today after not putting him on IR last week. You could have put him on IR last week and opened up a roster spot, yet you didn't. You put him on this week, and then when they asked Doug about it today at the press conference, he's like, oh, well, we got a lot of flexibility. We could do this, we could do that. Yeah, but don't you need that roster spot, especially a team that's so injured? I don't understand. I don't get it, okay? So we have an injury to Reagor, which really hurts us because we were using him a lot, and I thought he was playing well. And then we have DeSean Jackson. Now, I love DeSean Jackson. I loved DeSean Jackson when we drafted him. I love DeSean Jackson all the way up until they got rid of him the first time, which I thought was a horrible mistake, and it really, really bothered me. Loved getting DeSean Jackson back. First game last year against Washington, he showed us everything that we thought we were getting, and it was beautiful. This year, he's back from injury, and it's not been the same. He hasn't been the same. Let's face it. I haven't seen DeSean Jackson downfield, catching bombs. I haven't seen him run after the catch. I haven't seen a lot of DeSean Jackson. Now, maybe that's not DeSean Jackson. Maybe that's the Eagles. Maybe that's Carson Wentz's fault. Maybe that's Doug's fault. Whatever. But we haven't seen that DeSean Jackson. DeSean Jackson has 10 catches all year. 10 catches in 3 games. Okay, he did nothing against Washington, which I really think against Washington he was hurt. I know they were keeping him out, and he said he wasn't, but I really think something was wrong with him. Then week 2 he does nothing. Then week 3 he's out with a hamstring. Now, right now, as we sit here, he's not practicing. He's day to day. They hope he can play, but a guy like DeSean Jackson with speed, A hamstring injury is one of those tricky things, especially for an older guy. I don't want him to rush it. You got to make sure he's 100% before he comes back. So don't be surprised that DeSean Jackson, if he doesn't play this week, I don't expect him to be honest with you. Not with a hamstring. But when he does come back, I need to see DeSean Jackson be DeSean Jackson. I need the Eagles to take some shots deep to him. Get him open. Let him stretch the field. I haven't seen that all year from him. And it's about time. But he's injured. Reagor's injured. Then you have J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, which has been a disaster. A disaster of a pick, of his play. He doesn't even get targets. Waste of a spot. Okay? Now, it's not all bad news right now at the wide receiver position, because the Eagles may get Alshon Jeffery back. The Eagles are going to ramp him up this week in practice, give him more work. And I think that if he can handle the workload this week in practice, I think you're going to see Alshon Jeffery play. And we need him. We need him bad. We need him bad on so many fronts, okay? Because, one, you might not have DeSean Jackson, so who do you have at wide receiver besides Greg Ward, really? I mean, Hightower, I like what I saw from him, but I need to see more. Alshon Jeffery's coming back at the perfect time. And the thing that I'm very excited about when it comes to Alshon Jeffery, because I'll be the first one to admit, I was ready to move on from Alshon after last year. And after this year, I'm ready to move on from him again. But for this year, he looks like he's 20 pounds lighter. He looks like he gave Carson all his weight because he was too heavy last year. He looked more like a tight end than a wide receiver. So I hope that him being lighter and better shape, that he's going to be a little faster. Now, Alshon, you don't need super speed from Alshon Jeffery. You just need a little bit more speed to get a little more separation, things like that. And I think Alshon Jeffery being in shape, being healthy, and if he plays this week, it's got to be huge for Carson Wentz. It just has to. You need that guy. You need him. And if you get Alshon, and then you get DeSean Jackson back, even better. But I don't want to go in this game with no DeSean Jackson, no Alshon Jeffery, no Jalen Reagor, and you have Greg Ward Jr., Deontay Burnett, and then they're going to try to use Arcega-Whiteside, which is a waste of time. Put Hightower in there. So Alshon Jeffery, if he comes back and plays this week, it's huge. It's huge. Another thing I'm very excited about is Quez Watkins is once again practicing. Now, I love Quez Watkins. I think you could, if you could get him in, you can dial up a play or two for him. Just one or two plays that he can do a couple times during the game. One or two routes. I think a deep route or something like that, I think he could get open. The kid is very, very fast. And he would go under the radar. Teams wouldn't be really ready for him. It's a good way to use him. So hopefully Quez Watkins will be on the active roster this week. He is practicing. He's in a 21-day window where the Eagles can bring him to the active roster. He's coming off the IR. So we'll see what they do. But as far as this week goes, it looks like I'm thinking we're going to get Alshon Jeffery back. DeSean Jackson's 50-50, and I think we can use all the help we can get. So we're going to see what Alshon Jeffery does. Hopefully he comes back because, like I said, if he does, it's huge. It's huge from a team who, once again, is battling injury at the wide receiver position. It's going to be interesting. I will see you guys later. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.